So tonight we're talking about how we can get our Facebook audience to fall in love with us. And what do I mean by fall in love? Well, like I said, I don't mean it in the biblical sense, I mean it in the platonic sense. In that what you want is, you want your Facebook audience to become addicted to your content. Why? Because you want people coming back. You want people coming back all the time to see your content, because anybody who's in marketing knows that repeat viewing of certain content leads to more customers and distributors. So what you don't want to be doing is, you don't want to be in a situation where you're fighting for attention, okay? Because remember, one of the things, you're competing with 300 or 400 other people in the newsfeed. Okay, so really what you want to do is, you want to have the upper hand. When you're scrolling through your newsfeed, looking at all the posts, you want to be better than all those competing posts in your newsfeed. So it's really, really important that you get your audience to really start to fall in love, to buy into you and become addicted. So they wake up in the morning and they want to scroll, they want to go and see what you're talking about. Okay, rather than just accidentally landing on your content, okay, rather than accidentally landing on it just because they've happened to see it in the newsfeed. Okay, so as a marketer, wouldn't that be awesome if people literally woke up and thought, I need to go and check out their content? And that's what I want to position you guys, 139, thank you guys. That's what I want to position you guys to be able to do this evening. Now, I'm not going to be sharing a definitive formula. I'm going to be sharing David Ross's strategy. Everything that I share with you is everything that I've done. It's not theory. I'm not making up some wild thing that sounds good like so many other marketers out there, okay? I'm sharing with you what I have done over the last few years to build my brand, build a global audience, get way over 1 million organic views on my Facebook Lives. And I want to share with you some key things that I've done over the last 3 years so that you can start to apply it to your business, okay? So when I say my audience are in love with me, what I mean by that is they're addicted to there's an addiction, there's a need to come and see what I'm talking about, okay? So does that sound okay? Does that sound good? Does that sound like something you want to learn about? If that sounds good, hashtag sounds good in the comments thread below, and I will start to whiz through all of David Ross's key strategies and tactics, which I want you guys to start to apply to get your Facebook audience falling in love with you. Falling in love with you. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get lots of Valentine cards, but I can't help you with that. I can't help you with your relationships. I'm not that good, okay? But I can help you with your online relationships. Good, sounds good. Okay, right, so first thing that I want to talk to you about. By the way, don't stop sharing. Do not stop sharing. Do not stop watch partying. If you've not done a watch party yet, press it. If you've not shared, share it. Do all that good stuff. Because I'm going to give you some epic information that I 100% guarantee no other marketer out there today is teaching this. Okay? And I absolutely guarantee it 100%. Okay? So the first thing that I want to talk to you about is this. Cyber detachment. I want to talk to you about cyber detachment. I'm going to teach you about this first of all, because once you understand cyber detachment, you'll understand people, and you'll understand people on Facebook. Once you understand people on Facebook the way I do, you can own, baby. You can own. Okay? Right, so if you can all hashtag this word, cyber detachment. It has a space in it. Cyber detachment. Let me explain to you what cyber detachment is. It's very, very interesting. So, group of people all go in a lift. They all stand in a lift. What do? They stand there, heads down. They don't want to talk to each other. Okay? They're silent. Nobody dare breathe a word. Okay? Nobody dare breathe a word. But you take that same group of people, okay, and you put them on 2 different boats that are crossing a river. What do? They're waving and they're shouting to each other. Okay? They're waving and shouting to each other. What about when we're out in public and we see somebody acting like a moron or a muppet, what do most people do? They put their head down, they walk past, they look awkward, they don't want to say anything because social oppression forbids them from being able to do that, and the anxiety, right? But you're in your car and some idiot cuts you up and they're behaving like an idiot. What are you doing? You're sticking your fingers up, you're effing and you're blinding, you're shouting, you're screaming, you're calling them names, okay? Why? Because you are safe. You are safe. When you are in boats that are crossing the river, you are safe. That's called social detachment. When you have social detachment, people all of a sudden become brave. But most people in society, when we don't have social detachment, we all walk around heads down, we don't want to say anything, we're insecure, we're anxious, yeah? But really, all of us just want to be heard. We want to scream at people. We want to have our opinion. We want to say how we feel. Okay, that's what we are as human beings. That's what we want more than anything. But social oppression, all these kind of things forbid us. They prevent us from being able to do that today. Right? But when we have social detachment out there, when we're safe in our car, when we're safe on the other boat, we turn into social animals. Now, cyber detachment works the same way. Okay? It works the same way. You're walking down the street in the shopping mall and some guy with a lanyard and a clipperboard and a pen and a logo on his t-shirt walks up to you because he wants to ask you some questions. He wants to ask you your thoughts, your feelings and your opinions on a certain matter. What do? You put your head down, you pretend you're on your phone and you walk past. But because of cyber detachment, on social media, on Facebook, there's no fear, there's no oppression. People want to be heard and they are willing to answer the questions that you ask. Whatever you want to ask, they are willing to answer. Because of cyber detachment, they are not going to have their heads down. They are not going to pretend to be on their phone. They are not going to ignore you. They are going to answer. Okay? Because cyber detachment allows them to do it. So what I'm trying to teach you is that people are oppressed, they're anxious, their heads are down. Have you ever walked past somebody in the street? What do? They put their head down. It's just the way the world is. But they still want to be heard. They still want a voice. They still want an opinion. And if you are smart, you will start using your Facebook profiles to give people the opportunity to express their thoughts, their feelings and opinions. Okay? Use that cyber detachment. Not for drama, not for politics, not for hate speech. Nobody cares about that. Okay? You've got to use it for good. You've got to give people the platform to express their thoughts, feelings and opinions in a positive way. And you can do that on Facebook. And it can lead to some amazing things. It can lead to new customers, new distributors, new friends, new fans, new followers. Go and look at my profile. Look at it. Scroll down and see the types of things I'm posting and compare it to most of the other stuff that you see in your newsfeed, right? And I'm going to explain the concept behind this, because getting your Facebook audience, by the way, nearly 140 people, I really appreciate that, guys. You have to understand that it's all about what you're not doing and what you are doing. You can't just get people to fall in love with you on Facebook because of what you do. It's also about what you're not doing as well. It's what you should be avoiding, because most of the people destroy their brand because of the bad things that they're doing. It's not just what they're not giving, but it's the crap that they're putting out there as well. So I'm going to share with you several things right now, and this is what you want your team to see. All right? This is what you need your team to see, because I know you're frustrated with some of the people in your teams and how they're behaving. So what I want to do is kind of put some things to bed. All right? So, hi Laura, how are you? Hi Simon. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that, by the way. Cheers, Simon. I can only see a few comments at any one point. Right, so we've talked about cyber detachment. So, First thing is the 3 E's. Number 1, educate, entertain, and enable. All right? So if you look at my content, and I'm going to use mine as an example, and this is a little heart here, okay? If you look at all my content, okay, after this Facebook Live, every single post I do either educates, entertains, or enables. And when I say enables, it enables my audience to do something. It enables them to get involved, to give their thoughts, feelings, and opinions, okay? Every single one of my posts, all right? You've got to educate people, you've got to entertain people, and you've got to enable people. Now, here's the problem. Here's the problem, okay? If you look at most people on Facebook, when they create content, okay, they're always pointing to themselves. Most posts are what I call self or product promotion, okay? Self or product promotion. I, me, this is me, here's my abs, here's me drinking coffee, here's me drinking wine, here's me on a field, here's my birthday, here's me this, here's me that, here's me. All right? Okay, now, that's most people. Here's my t-shirt with my product on it. Here's me, super energy. Here's me, before and after. Okay? Bullshit. Okay? People are not interested. They don't care. They may pretend to be. You'll get a few sympathy likes because people are just there clicking away. But that's not going to build your brand. It's not going to build your brand. Some of those posts are okay every so often if it's relative to the type of product or service you market. But if you scroll down your newsfeed, you will see most posts, me. I. Look at me, me, I. Right? Okay, now, if you look down my newsfeed, it's all, you are this, you are that, you are the other, you are awesome, do you love yourself? Tell me now, because I love you too. You are amazing, you are awesome. How do you feel today? Do you have this problem? If you're awesome, clap your hands. If you know it, clap your hands. Okay? It's really, really simple. You can have 500 followers, or you can have people all over the world loving what you're doing. All right? It's your choice. Okay? And it doesn't take long to build once you start doing it right. So, I want your posts to start focusing on you. Not you. Not you, but them. Okay? Not me, I. Look at me, I'm so good. Look at my abs, look at my coffee, look at my t-shirt. Here's me walking on the hill. Here's me doing this, here's me doing that. I just found this out, I've just done that. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. All right? Just telling you, okay? Hey, look, I've made the mistake myself. All right? I've done it myself. Everything that I teach you, I've messed up. I just don't want you to make the same mistakes that I did. All right? I've spent so much wasted time. All right? So, you know. Cool. Excellent. What's this one here? Who's this? Okay, cool. Right, so, are we all cool with that? Alright, good stuff. So, moving on. Right, dopamine. The dopamine effect. Okay? Right, so, dopamine is a chemical in the drug, okay? A chemical in the brain that is produced when we get that sense of reward, okay? Now, when it comes to social media, what we're talking about is social reward. So, the way you create that positive chemical in somebody's brain, that kind of gooey feeling, that addictive feeling, because dopamine is addictive. Now, the way that you create that is by creating social reward for your friends and followers. So when that means they engage in you, what you've got to get good at doing is commenting and replying to them. That's really, really important. And there's a few rules on this, okay? And I'm going to share a few things. I'm going to share some little secrets with you on how you can create that dopamine effect, yeah? How you can create that sense of social reward. Because if you can create a sense of social reward in your friends and followers, guess what? They're going to come back to you for more, because they know that by coming back to you, you're going to give them that acknowledgement, and that acknowledgement's going to give them that hit of dopamine, again, which is very, very addictive. So we'll talk about that a little bit, okay? Also this, death by links, okay? I've never been one to send links to people, because when you send a link to somebody without their permission, what essentially you're saying is, I'm no longer in love with you, I just want to be friends. So when you're having a conversation with somebody, the last thing that you want to do, the last thing is send them a link, okay? That's the very, very last thing. In fact, you shouldn't be sending any links out, really, until people have given you permission, until people have said, yes, I would like more information. Because if you're having a conversation with somebody, okay, if you're having a conversation and then you just blast the link out, that's like saying, hey, go to that shop over there. I don't really want to deal with you anymore, okay? And it makes people feel like crap. A link makes people feel really bad. And it is like saying, look, I just want to be friends. I don't love you anymore. I just want to be friends. You know how much that hurts? We've all had our heart broken. You know that feeling when we like somebody? You know that feeling when we like somebody and then all of a sudden it becomes apparent that they don't really like us back? That moment, that's how people feel when you send them a link. If they say, yeah, sure, go ahead, I'd like to see some more information, okay, then that's fine, send it out. But sending out links without permission from people will kill your brand. So sending out links does the opposite of create the dopamine effect. The dopamine effect creates social reward. It's gooey. Yeah, it's like getting a message from somebody you fancy or you're attracted to or you really like or you really want to hear from. Okay, well, sending out a link does exactly the opposite thing. Okay, sending out a link does exactly the opposite thing. Okay, so I'm okay with you guys sharing third-party tools. Okay, I'm okay with sharing third-party tools, but get permission. Wait for people to say, hey, yeah, sure, no problem. Okay, cool. So, moving on. Rifle versus shotgun. Now again, and this is difficult, and it's something that I am getting better at, but what I want you to do is I want you guys to start treating your audience with the rifle approach, not the shotgun approach. That means when people create content, okay, or when people send direct messages, because there's only two types of content. There's the thing you post in your public domain, and there's the information you send to people personally. Now, how many of you have ever been felt like a nuisance or a number? How many of you have felt that the content that you're seeing or the message that you're seeing is just not really in any context for you? It doesn't really make you feel, it's not a personal experience. It doesn't resonate with you personally, or you think, well, that's just meant for everybody, or that's gone to everybody. And that's because what most people do, what a lot of marketers do, is they use a shotgun approach. So one piece of content, blast, that's for everybody. Whereas what you really want to be trying to do is to have a rifle approach. That means try and target each individual friend and follower, and every single person that you're contacting directly, try and treat them as an individual. Try and have that sense that these are individual people and you want to resonate with them on an individual level. You know, that's really, really important, okay? And you know, you've all had those blanket messages, haven't you, that you know have been sent to 10 or 20 other people, okay? But with a rifle approach, it's about creating a tailor-made experience for somebody. If I'm going to write to somebody in their inbox, I'm going to address them by name. I'm going to tell them where I saw them, what group, were they a suggested friend. I'm going to tell them why I'm writing to them. I'm going to tell them what I've noticed, why I resonated with them on their profile. And then I'm going to say, look, I'm really looking forward to seeing your content in my feed. So what I do is when I reach out to somebody, I give them a very personal experience. whenever I create content, I give somebody a very personal experience. So if you look at my last post, but one, I said, tell me something that you love about yourself. So what I've done is I've created a very, very personal experience for my audience. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, and again, that's like having a rifle approach. Okay, rather than just going, this is me doing this. Yeah? All right, cool, excelente. Right, next. Now, this is a really, really interesting one. Really, really interesting. Now, for those of you, excuse me, for those of you who use Messenger quite a lot and you're having lots of conversations every day with prospective customers, distributors, contacts, people you're not yet doing business with, this is really, really important. And it's basically called the first person to speak loses and leaders eat last. And let me tell you, I mean, I didn't invent that, you know, leaders eat last was something that I learned from Simon Sinek, but this is a great way to get people to, I suppose, buy into you even on a personal level and want to do business with you, okay? So, the first person to speak loses. So, when I'm entering into a one-on-one conversation, when I'm taking it from my public-facing domain to, I'm not singing anything again, no, Laura. My voice is already shot, yeah? Plus one girl, and I missed her name, said I'm so annoying on the thread. I'm guessing, I'm going to go back and see who that is. Yeah, obviously my singing voice is upsetting her or annoying her, whoever that may be. But hey ho, you can't please everybody, can you, at the end of the day? That's the way it is. But whenever I enter into a personal conversation with somebody, okay, I let them go first. One of the biggest mistakes I see when it comes to one-on-one prospecting is the first thing well, there was the first thing that people do is they want to give all the information about what they offer. Okay, this is what I do, this is what I offer, blah de blah de blah de blah de blah de blah. Rather than just stepping back and go, hey, thanks, tell me what's going on with you and the problem and your family and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So whenever I have a one-on-one with someone, okay, I don't speak first. I let them go first. Okay? Leaders eat last. Also, I make sure that I'm the last person or I have the last word, okay, in the conversation. So I don't leave them hanging. So you go first. Tell me what the problem is. Tell me what's going on. Tell me about your family circumstances, and I'll usually finish with, I'll look forward to hearing from you, or I'll look forward to the appointment, okay? I never leave them hanging. And that's a really good way to have a one-on-one conversation. And I think a lot of the time it's the other way around. So people start with, rah, 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 and they never close off their conversation properly. Sorry, I need a bit more of my drink. Oh. See, it gets to your throat this sometimes. I don't think I've spoken so much in the last 3 or 4 days. You can go back and watch the recording. So, again, this is because, you know, it's not just about what you post, okay? It's not just about what you post. It's about what you send. 2 types of content. What you post, what you send, okay? So, what you post and what you send, okay? Really, really important. And when you're posting stuff and when you're sending stuff, these same rules apply. Really, really important. These same rules still apply, all right? Cool. Move on. Right, here's another one. Inconsistency, trust. Again, here's another pet hate of mine. And I see this on my feed, and I could even name names, but I never would because I'm a professional, okay? But check this out, right? How do you think, and I get why people do it, because it's a cry for help or it's attention, and I understand that, right? But here's a couple of things you should never do. One day, you're this awesome person who's got the energy and you're fantastic and everything's great. And then the next day you're down or you're sad or you're upset because you've had a low point. Then the next day you're on a high, then the next day you're on a low. Then the next day you're on a high, then the next day you're on the low. Then your business is great, then it's awful. Then you've had a reward, then you've been stabbed in the back, okay? Problem with that, and I understand sometimes that we need to release our emotions, okay? But one of the things that you never ever see me doing is I'm not like this. I'm always consistent on Facebook. I'm always consistent. The way I behave, the way I conduct myself, the tonality of what I'm doing, all right? Because by having that consistency, your audience will start to trust you. And they should trust you. My audience trusts me because I built that trust through being consistent, okay? But if you are being inconsistent, if you're like taking a few days out from Facebook because you can no longer handle it, and then you're back and everything's great, and then a few weeks later it's like, oh my God, I can't believe this. This is a tragedy. I'm disappearing from it. And then you're all great again, okay? I understand that life can be an emotional roller coaster. I get that. Unfortunately, you're not afforded that luxury in business. And I think sometimes, not you personally, but I think a lot of people in the direct sales, network marketing, home-based business arena, I actually think sometimes they forget that they're business owners. I actually think they forget they're entrepreneurs and then they just go into domestic mode. Yeah? Domestic housewives, domestic house husbands. And they forget that they're a business. Yeah? And in business, you're not afforded the luxury of showing emotion. Unfortunately, you're not. I get that we have peaks and troughs, highs and lows, good days, bad days. I get that. I empathise with it. I do. I've had a few days where I've not been great. Trust me, the last few days I've not felt like myself. I've had a few wobbles. Do you know what I mean? And I get those, and I have down days, and there's days where I don't feel well. But I always show up. I'm always consistent, and I'm always the same. And you'll never see that. You'll never see me down on that low, okay? Because I'm not serving you by being that way. Yeah. So again, it's a difficult one. While I kind of empathise that we have stuff going on, and life can be very challenging, my role as your mentor and your coach is to teach you how to make the best of your business and how to conduct yourself in business. So unfortunately, I have to give you the advice that might hurt and sting a little bit, and the advice that's going to pull you towards success. And you know, one of the things I've seen personally, particularly when you're building a team, sometimes people will not like you for that. People will fall out of love with you. People will not like you sometimes. That's one of the, I suppose, downsides of being a leader, you know. And again, it goes back to that, you know, when it comes to getting people to fall in love with you, sometimes the ones who do fall in love with you are the ones who are far removed, yeah? Which is probably the vast majority of my followership on a global level. If I was working with you all one-on-one, yeah, you'd probably hate my guts, because when you're really pulling somebody towards success, it hurts and they fall out of love with you. So sometimes it's the people closest to you, yeah? But I suppose what I'm trying to say in a roundabout way, as leaders, as entrepreneurs, as business people, okay, don't air your dirty laundry. We have highs, we have lows, but let's try and deal with them behind closed doors. Don't take it into the public, because if you do, then the public, they might sympathise with you, but they start to distrust you because they see an inconsistency, and people don't want to join people who are like that. Yeah, they can't be trusted. Think about it. Would you join somebody if you were watching somebody and following somebody? If somebody was laughing, crying, high, low, would you join them? Would you buy from them? You probably wouldn't, because you'd be a bit worried. Hey, is this person going to do me any favours? Are they going to take me down a path that I don't want to go down? Yeah. Again, it's a hard one. It's a tough one. But I'm just saying, you know, try to be consistent. Okay. And Right, yeah, so they're my key things. That's my key list. So I think if you follow those simple steps, okay, and this is an emotional exercise, this isn't a simple tactic, this is not a simple script, it's an emotional exercise, it's quite tough. But if you can try, I think, to conduct yourself as a business mentor, as a leader, and not somebody who is simply a domestic person. Don't treat your personal profile like it's your domestic playground. You've got to a degree, treat it like a business brand. Yeah? Does that make sense? Yeah? Cool. Oh, Mr. Mark Knott is in the house. How you doing, Mark? Mark is my hairstylist. He did my hair today. Looks good, doesn't it? Did a good job. Awesome. Thank you for that, Mark. Cool. Right, so I hope you guys found that useful. I hope you've all shared it. Hope you've all done a watch party. My voice is like going now. Literally. I think my voice is going now. But no, so if you shared this evening, I really, really appreciate that. Like I said, for those of you who've done a watch party, I'm going to go back and check out the views. Whoever's got the most views and all that kind of stuff, I'm going to pick out 2 winners. I'm going to send you a signed copy of my book. So that's really, really cool. You'll enjoy that. Hope you've got some value this evening. You know, at the end of the day, you don't have to do everything that I teach you. You don't have to do everything on here tonight, okay? You don't have to do everything on here, right, to get people to fall in love with you. Just maybe one thing, okay? Maybe just do one thing and that will start to change your result, okay? Only takes a couple of things to kind of turn things around in this business. And that's what I love about it. Some people go, oh my God, I've got to do all of that. No, you don't. Sometimes it's just one little thing, one little tweak that you've got to make. Right. What else? Anything else? I think that's it. I think we're all done. I think we've had a good evening. And we've had really good attendance as well. So do that as a little experiment. Go and scroll through my newsfeed and look at my content, and then go to your newsfeed and just scroll through and see what other people are doing. And, you know, just ask yourself this question, right? If we just go back just 1 second, just before we finish, go back and ask yourself, right? When I scroll, I need some water. When I scroll through my newsfeed, how much of it is really educating me? How much of it is entertaining me? And how much of it is actually enabling me? And you'll find that it's not a lot. Yeah. By the way, do me a favour. Quite a lot of you have not been complaining. I'm not saying complaining, but you've been concerned because you used to get Facebook reminders from me when I was going live. But then I stopped doing them, but I've reinstated them now. So if you would like the link, it's just a messenger link, which means that when I go live, I'll send you a message reminder just so you don't miss it. But if you would like access to that link so that you can subscribe, so that when I go live you get a message, just put hashtag link in the comments thread below. And if you put that, what I'll do is I'll just reply with a little link that you can click on. And if you click on that, it will subscribe you to a little bot. And it just means once a week, you'll get a notification for when I'm going live. And then you won't miss the live event. Is that okay with everybody? Cool. So as always, I really appreciate you guys coming out to get some skills, value, some knowledge, some understanding. Look at that. Towards the end, still got 100 people watching. Look at that. 100 people still watching all the way to the end. That's epic. That's really good. Thank you. I appreciate that. And to all of you who've shared as well. So take care. And I can't wait to see you all again. I can't wait to see you next week, where we'll be tearing it up with some more really, really cool information. And as always, if you do need me for anything, you know where to reach me. You know how to get hold of me. I'm never far away. Oh, I've not done the poses. I've not done the poses for you to share. Right, hang on. 1 second. Right, are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. Here we go. Ready? So we'll do the model pose first. Remember, you've got to screenshot the pose so you can use it to share. Here we go. Model shot first. Okay, angry shot. Okay, right, surprised shot. Are you ready to snapshot those? What was the other one? Was it pouty? Was it that one? I think. It was pouty, wasn't it? Blue steel. It was blue steel, wasn't it? Like that. What was the other? So I've done angry, shocked, model pose, pout. I'm sure I've done... Ah, right, okay. I need to do the... I did the shocked one, didn't I? Zoolander. I can't... I'm sure I've done... I'm sure I've done them all there. Shocked, angry, pouty, model pose. What else did I do? Was that it? Are they all the poses? Ah, no. Iron Man. Iron Man pose. Here you go. This will get a lot of people clicking on it, by the way. This will get a lot of people clicking on it. Here we go. Here we go. Hang on. Oh, it went weird then. Right, here we go. Snapshot this. There you go. That's a good one. That's a good one. In fact, what I'll do is I'll put my arm up so it looks like I'm flexing my muscles as well. How's that? That's kind of matched with my face, isn't it? Iron Man. I'm Iron Man. There you go. That should be a good screenshot for you. If people don't watch that, then there's something wrong. Mr. Marvel. Okay, cool. Right, okay, good night. God bless. Take care. And I'll see you all soon. Bye, guys.